Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan Nair, and here basically we are talking about the attraction part. And in this, basically, we are talking about one topic, that is basically the particular generation is supposed to go next, or particular generation is not supposed to go next. So for that, basically, some group says that basically this generation will go next, or this one generation will not go next. So that basically few people says that basically we have the power, we are basically the God family, we basically are the Bollywood group, we are the Hollywood group. We basically have the power basically. And we can basically do anything in Mumbai, we can do anything in Mumbai, we can anything do in Mumbai. We can anything do in Pune, we can anything do in Vadodara city, we can anything do in Kerala, we can anything do in Uttar Pradesh. So like this basically the people says that we can do anything. So anything in anything basically this is the anything that is basically the next generation is supposed to happen, or next generation is not supposed to happen, because this group only have the authority. But they basically convince the family member also that your son basically is not good, his basically behavior is not good basically, and he basically company basically says that he is not good, he is that, he is those, he is those. Like this basically they do the advertising, and in at last basically family only basically say that do one thing, finish his generation. Because one person basically told that if one person is telling 100 times same thing basically, that finish his basically, just see basically how what he is doing, just see what he is doing, just see what he is going to do, just see what basically is going to happen with that particular person, and he is responsible. Like this basically they sets the scene basically. So at last, basically, what is the thing going to happen? The family member will going to say that basically do one thing, finish his generation. So like this, basically, the Bollywood says that we have done our task by doing conveyance with the family member only. So family member only told that basically finish his generation. So like this, basically, they say that basically we have taken care of rules and regulation also. Like this, basically, they submits the report, that just see basically we have the report of this basically, that basically their family member has only told this, that basically finish his generation, because report they have submitted to the Supreme Court, High Court. After that basically Supreme Court and High Courts basically say that basically do one thing, finish his generation, because their family member only has told, and they have the proof also, because court says basically we need the proof also. Like this with the achievement of finish generation basically done by certain groups. So like this is also basically one thing. So here basically we were talking about that generation, basically who basically has somebody, some group has done the plan. That is 7 lakh people going to generate. Sorry, child is going to generate. Going to basically get birth basically in Vadodara city, and 11 lakh child is going to take birth in Ahmedabad city. So we are talking about that generation, and that generation Bollywood going to say that basically, yeah, basically this generation will 100% happen, and we are basically giving the guarantee to you, to 11 lakh people and to 7 lakh people and to universe basically group, that this generation 100% is going to happen, and this generation is not going to create problem in universe. That is a brown color basically, which is marked as a which is basically marked in the universe basically. That by that basically brown color is marked by the universe group basically. They have marked it. They basically told that basically this 11 lakh basically is for Ahmedabad, and this 7 lakh is basically for Vadodara city. Vadodara city. Like this basically there are 1,75,000 city, and that is basically marked in the universe basically, that this would be the generation of this city, this will be the generation of this city, this will be the generation of that city. At last basically it's the earth planet generation which is going to happen peacefully. Some peace group basically has told that basically we will do everything peacefully. Like this 7 lakh people basically going to generate, and 11 lakh people basically, sorry, child is going to generate. and they are basically telling that we have done created the story also, basically that is 350 areas basically are created in Vadodara city, and in Ahmedabad basically assume that they have created around 530 city 530 areas. For that 11 lakh people child going to get birth, so like this basically 530 stories, 530 areas basically. So area is equal to stories. So 530 is stories, and 350 stories basically in Vadodara city. Like this, government tells that basically we have done the achievement, and we are basically told that basically universe group we have basically done your task, and we have finished that particular guy's generation also. That poor boy generation also basically. Are you happy? The universe groups basically told that basically, but why you finished his generation basically? There was no other option basically of other than finishing the generation of that particular guy. Guy means basically boy basically, poor boy. His generation basically was ended. So like this basically the entire basically if generation basically gets end, right? If generation basically gets end in the city basically, then entire city basically become one basically. To end his generation basically. To end his generation, the entire city basically becomes one. And like this basically they say that basically he is not good. The government has ended his generation. What, yeah, in this basically their family also basically told that end his generation. We don't want him, that particular guy, in our basically city. Otherwise basically he's going to spoil our Vadodara city name basically. Like this basically lots of advertising has been done. In this basically entire Bollywood group basically told that basically we it's very our इज्जत का सवाल है. Like this basically we have to finish his generation. It's basically इज्जत का सवाल of Bollywood group basically. So for that basically we have to finish his generation, because we have got money from the one group basically that will finish his generation. Like this basically we are going to get money. So like these things are also basically there. So this is also about little bit about the Bollywood group, but entire Bollywood is not like that basically. Bollywood says that basically we know that basically one time basically if anything happens basically it might possible that entire Bollywood get end. So for that basically they have kept themselves safe from this. Few Bollywood group area basically says that basically no, we don't do this all this thing. We don't finish any of the generation basically. We are not into this. Like this they have kept their generation, sorry, their Bollywood area basically safe. So like this basically Bollywood suits the group says that basically we have kept our generation, sorry, our Bollywood group according to the plans basically. So like this here the actually one person told them what actually Bollywood task is here. They are doing dance, they are doing this, they are just doing dance, they are doing acting, and they are earning crores of rupees basically. Few people are basically earning in 500 crore rupees. Few people are earning basically 500 crore basically. By doing acting basically they can earn 500 crore rupees basically. Then one person of the Bollywood basically told that basically in real basically they are just doing the entertainment of the public basically. But in real basically why they are getting 500 crore? That person basically asked literally. Then basically he told one example basically. For example, assume that one Bollywood person is doing the advertising of Maggie, or basically assume that he is doing the advertising of Nescafe, or assume that he is doing the advertising of some Dawat Basmati rice. How basically they are earning 500 crore? That basically is the thing basically which we are discussing here. Few Bollywood groups says that no, basically we don't do advertising only. We are happy with whatever money we are getting. But here we are talking about that 500 crore people there who are basically taking. So he told that basically as if that he has eaten Dawat Basmati rice, or basically assume that he has eaten some Maggie. Assume that he has eaten from some Nescafe. So he has basically taken that thing basically whatever advertising basically has done. Then basically the Bollywood group says that basically we generates the energy of that particular person's body, and in this basically lots of things basically happens. Lots of negative things basically happen. Lots of positive things basically happen. Negative means basically his body parts get damaged. Positive means basically his body parts get repair. Like this, lots of things basically happen. Like this, basically Bollywood group says that we are taking 500 crore because we are doing lots of negative tasks. We are doing lots of positive tasks. That's why basically we are taking 500 crore. And the companies basically are giving, sorry, the Bollywood group basically are giving us 500 crore rupees also. Basically. And we are staying in Pali Hill House. Like this, basically, it's a most secure house, so area. Basically, nobody can able to touch us. Like this, basically, they says. So this is also basically one of the part of the Bollywood. Few Bollywood groups says that basically no, basically we only do positive tasks. For example, one person is not having birth child basically, then we literally basically helps him, and we basically say that why. Then they basically gets into the real picture that basically, do you know basically you are somebody has done your nasbandi, and one person told that basically somebody has damaged your blood cells. That's why basically your sperm basically is not getting properly created. For that basically you have to do some treatment basically. For that basically they do say that basically do one thing, go to this doctor. They are basically good into this. Like this basically positive tasks are also basically there. Like this basically positive thinking and negative thinking are also basically there. Like this one person told that basically think positive. One person told that think negative. Now basically the universe group basically in Ahmedabad basically the 11 lakh basically child is going to happen, and 7 lakh child is going to happen in Vadodara city, and the universe area is basically allocated for certain groups basically, and in future the child is going to happen, and there basically creation is going to happen. Then that energy basically is going to store in the universe area with the help of the energy companies. They are basically Reliance, IPCL, ONGC, AIMS, Oxygen. Like this basically think negative and positive. One person basically told that basically if this basically things is going to happen, then basically think negative and positive. Then basically one of the person told that basically the person who is creating negative effect basically we have washed his energy basically from the rain, artificial rain. Basically they have given the name basically they basically literally say that this person is basically thinking negative, so we have finished his energy from the environment, and we are basically finishing his energy from with the help of the rain. And that rain basically has washed out that and the person's energy, and basically when the next time basically the nuclear company and the energy company is going to generate the energy from the environment and going to take the energy from the environment, that time basically that person's energy is not going to be taken from the energy and the power companies, because his energy is basically we have washed out from the rain basically. That for that rain basically they have given name as a artificial rain. That English government has basically given this name, USA basically, and few people says that it is given by the Italian government. Few people says that it is the name is given by the European government. Few people says that basically it is given from the Sanskrit government. Sorry, Sanskrit language university basically. That this is the artificial rain, and basically like this basically we clear up the entire energy of the particular person. Basically he is basically spreading negative energy. Like this basically the group says that basically we are clearing each and everything, and we are basically clearing the this type of energy. Like this basically they are doing the jashan, that we have finished his generation, and we have merged all the other generation basically, sorry, other generation energies in the universe, and we are doing the jashan, and we are doing the enjoyment, and few people says that basically do the enjoyment. And like this basically they are telling that we are basically breaking the leg, breaking the head, breaking the leg, breaking the hand. That is basically our task, because we are getting the money also basically. And in this basically we are doing the getting the approval from the cyber department also. We are getting the approval from the cyber department also. We are getting the approval from the cyber department also, that can we break his leg, when we can we break his hand, when can we give chakkar off to his head, can we give pain to his eye. Like this basically things are also basically, and this all basically generates the energy basically. And few people say that after giving the pain basically, whatever pain energy basically he has generated, we are checking basically where basically that pain energy is going in the universe. Like this universe group also basically checking that where his pain energy is going. Like this basically some magic he has done, so for that basically they are checking it. Like this basically where his energy is basically going, we want to see that where attraction is basically going of this of that particular person's energy. Like this basically the entire NASA ISRO also basically told that we have become one to finish his generation. Sorry, few people say that we have finished his generation, but after that basically they thought that basically is something going to happen after finishing his generation. After that basically they thought, after finishing the generation they thought that basically is anything going to happen basically. Then one person told that what is going to happen? The maximum what will happen? The Earth planet will get in. Anything that basically greater than that going to happen. Then one person told that basically Earth planet is connected with universe also basically. Then basically told her, yeah, basically it's correct, yeah. And that also basically the Earth planet is directly connected with the set of universe group basically. With the help of the satellite basically. And the satellite is basically telling that we are basically taking Earth planet to here, Earth planet to there basically. With the help of the set of energy that are basically 3000 university, then trees, mountains energy, buildings energy, construction happening energy. Like this basically we are having the attraction also basically. Like this basically we are having that we are telling that the generation basically is going to happen and this generation is not going to happen. So after each basically success basically we do the digestion, we do the party, we basically do the parties in the hotels, we do the parties in the restaurant according to our budget. Few people says that basically we have done this task basically, but that task was basically the end of generation of that particular poor guy means basically boy. So like this also basically stories are there. So like this in environment basically there are 1 lakh story basically which is right, which is basically written by the set of groups. They are basically Bollywood groups and the Hollywood groups. They basically says that we have written the stories and which basically generates in the which basically is already generated in the environment, and that environment basically according to the situation of that particular according to that basically the people basically takes that energy basically, and government says that basically we create the situation basically. For that only basically then one person basically asked, literally asked basically what is the task of the government here, sorry government groups basically. He told that basically they creates the situation, and according to the situation basically the energy gets generates into the body, and then basically rest of thing basically energy is only do, because they have written the story basically that this generation this story is going to end is this story is middle time is this story is end is this story situation is going to happen like this basically the things basically gets like this. So like this basically the attraction basically comes, like this basically the attraction basically comes. And one person told that basically this is actually not so very dangerous attraction. Then person told that basically, yeah, it is very dangerous attraction, but we are tracking each and every people basically energies attraction. Which attraction is very sorry, which energy is up to what level, each and everything basically we are checking it. For that, basically, our people are there. Basically, the government people are there. The Bollywood groups are there. Hollywood groups are there. We have given them a full power. Basically, you can get into them house and basically you can damage his leg. You can damage his head. You can damage his eye. Basically, they have given full power. Like this, basically, you can do anything. Basically, whatever things basically he is doing, you can track him according to that. Basically, you can do the action. Basically, up to that level, basically the power basically they have given to the Bollywood group, Hollywood group, and the government basically. And nobody is basically again going to nobody basically can shout against the Bollywood, Hollywood, and government because it's the other. Even basically police group basically says that basically we are also going in the Bollywood parties. We are also basically attending the award functions and we are also dancing there also. Like this, they also basically joined Bollywood groups. So like this government also basically says that we also attend the award function basically. We also basically go into the cricket match and watch the match. How basically the match is ongoing. How basically people are hitting four. How people are going to hit six. Like this, each and everything basically we are also watching. Like this, they also basically jumped into the sports. So just see basically how the basically attraction chain basically happened from which is happening from one sector to another sector. One person told that basically the IT industry basically is also basically joined the Bollywood group. Sorry, the Bollywood group says that basically the we have taken IT industry because IT industry says that we have done the creation of that thousand text box. Sorry, the thousand city equal to text box because we know basically that this area is basically equal to text box. We know that basically this area is equal to combo box. So this basically we are going to see next basically how basically the Bollywood groups have designed this text box, combo box, each and everything. And this basically is the very dangerous attraction because this is going to directly going to affect the going to affect lots of things basically. Lots of things basically. Lots of basically. Uh, IT industry basically IT groups basically are going to connect here. So this is also basically one of the attraction. In next attraction, sorry, in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this only.